And what are your top three priorities on day one?
It's all for me is jobs, education, and uh, infrastructure. Everything on day one is geared towards that. But really, it's just basically to continue like the town hall type thing. Probably to continue the, because you've pretty much can write your itinerary of what you're going to do. Um, that job is kind of interpreted by who takes the office. And for me, I think I would travel around North Carolina, speak at city council meetings and city meetings, and listen into people's issues. If you get there and you sit in the audience, you can find out what's going on in those cities because those citizens come. I could say, hey, do you want to like talk? Afterwards, what can I do? How can I connect you to services? Like the easiest one in North Carolina that people don't know is, hey, my street light's out. What do I do? Well, the city doesn't come and fix it. Well, the city doesn't normally handle that. It's Duke Power. And you actually can go to a website and you can find your street light and click the street light and tell them that it's out and they'll come and repair it. And people got to remember that the city doesn't really drive around at nighttime, so how do they know the light's not working? So it's that kind of stuff, connecting people with the right things, and that's what I did a lot of times in my job as management. I did IT security type, and so I did a lot of like IT corporate training, and I'm not an expert of everything. You can't be an expert of everything, but I was really good at figuring out who was the expert, the SME, and trying to get them to the right people. So I'd have a lot of agents that would come up to me and go, I don't know this. Instead of me being the manager, like, I have no clue what you're talking about. It's more like I'd ask them the process. Did you do this? Did you look into the book? Did you follow this document? Did you do this? The reasoning. Okay, well, what's exactly going on? I would ask them questions. And a lot of times they'd end up either figuring it out for themselves because they would just go through the reasoning process, or it turns out that, okay, well, you need to see this person, and I'd take them to the right person to get them where they need to go. So I would address the issue at the end of the day, because that's another issue. A lot of citizens and everything think your congressperson or your senator or your president or et cetera, is supposed to know everything. It's when I first, like, here's an example. When I first announced I was going to run for lieutenant governor, somebody reached out to me and said, what would your budget be for North Carolina? I was like, well, first, it's not my job if I become a lieutenant governor. That's the governor's job. Second, since I'm not in the office, I would have no clue. I don't know what they spend and what they don't spend. And third is when you take office as governor, you have a group of individuals that do know, that work together with you to work towards a budget. It's not like the governor just sits down and starts writing down stuff. I mean, there's actual people in the background. And
Right.
that's another issue. A lot of people are armchair. Oh, if I was, if I was president, I'd do this, or that's where they're doing this, and this congressperson do that. But until you take the job, and
Until
this
they
is
get in there, yeah. Until they get in there.
yeah, any job. I mean, I had a job where I was supposed to be the ServiceNow ServiceNow manager for the team. Turned out I took the job. One, I ended up not being a manager, just a regular team.
Right.
Two, we barely use ServiceNow. So I'm three, I'm like, what the hell? It's like, so I'm like, whatever, I did the job, but it wasn't exactly how the title was. You don't know what the job is until you take the job. Even Trump made the mistake because I think he said beforehand when why is this president always playing golf all the time? I wouldn't play as much golf when and Donald Trump ended up playing just as much golf because you
Right.
realize that on the golf course is probably the only damn time you actually get any privacy, that
True.
you can get away from the press and actually have conversations with people without somebody probably recording it. So I think you learn that, when you play golf. And of course he's going to play golf. He's got a club that has a golf club. But
Right.
it's that armchair. It's that armchair kind of where you think you know the job until you know the job.
Right.